right, here he is, the Hanyak, Dustin Jacoby, fresh off a huge win in the very first round at UFC Long Island over Un Jung. Dustin, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Ryan. Thanks for having me on the show. Super exciting weekend. Super pumped up right now, and yeah, extremely happy.
Yeah, I mean, what a performance and what a finish. I think it's safe to say that this is probably the biggest, most marquee win of your MMA career to date. Would you say?
Oh, I would say so, man. It was a great win. It was a lot of fun. A statement was made, and that's what I looked to do. I looked to capitalize on the opportunity, and that's what life's about, man. Is you get opportunities, and are you prepared, and can you execute? And I was prepared, and I executed, man. We got it done.
What was the game plan going in there against Jung? I mean, this is a guy, he's got plenty of experience and he's dangerous on the feet, just like yourself. Is that something that, came in as far as preparations go to kind of watch out for his power?
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's a young kid. He's a powerful guy. He had the huge, 15 fight unbeaten streak, and I was a little more nervous this fight than I had been in years past. But I'm a veteran of the game. I knew that I would be sharp. I knew those I would channel those nerves and get them, flying in formation and flying in one direction. And that's what I did, man. The game plan was to go out there and keep the fight on the feet, of course, and use my kickboxing. I think I'm one of the best kickboxers in the light heavyweight division and the game today. So, and what was cool is as we were fighting, the longer the fight went, I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna try to kickbox me. Let's go, buddy. I can't wait.
Was he talking junk to you in the first round? It kind of looked like he was.
But respectfully, we both were. I could tell he has that swagger. He's got that shit eating grin where he just knows he's a stud, and I like it. More props to him. I have the same shit, and yeah, at one point he tried that he does this little elbow thing where he gets people with this weird elbow, and I was like, no, I remember saying that's not gonna work against me, and he kind of smiled and said, yeah, yeah, and I was like, okay, let's go. And I got him with a couple big kicks. He said, had a smile. He got me with a kick. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go, bring it, man. And yeah, you know what? He made a great dance partner. It takes two to tango, and he brought the best out in me, and I brought the best out in him. And like I said in my post-fight interview, we were both going for it, and I just got there first.
You see a lot of fighters too, when their opponent's in there and they might be talking to them, it dials them in even more so. Is that the case with you, where if you're in there and someone's talking a little junk, you're going to be even more focused and on your game?
Oh, absolutely, man. I love that. I feed off of that. I welcome that. And yeah, it does, man. I'm already a guy that I have laser like focus. I get dialed in. I'm extremely confident. And when I'm focused, I fight focused. You can see it on my face. Everything's calculated and every move's got a rhyme or reason. And yeah, if they start talking to John back, it just intensifies my game and it really dials me in.
And when you got the finish, was there a setup involved? Did you feel like you were kind of timing him, or is this just a case where you caught him with a stiff shot and that was all she wrote?
Yeah, no, I was timing him. We were getting our timing down. He was getting his timing down. The leg kicks were there for me. I noticed that anytime I went southpaw, it threw him off a little bit. And again, it's hard to dictate where the fight's going when it only lasts 3.5 minutes. But we were setting it up. I know right before I got him, I'd switched to southpaw, got a great inside low kick low, and I had switched back, and then I got him with my patented, kind of check knee left hook that I've rocked to everybody I've fought. I've rocked them with that. Darren Stewart, I led to that finish. Max Grishin, I hit him with it. It really changed the course of the fight. And yeah, so when I hit that shortly after I had switched to southpaw, came back, I hit the check hook. His eyes wobbled a little bit, and that's when I immediately put the foot on the gas and threw that 1-2. And yeah, when he was going down, his eyes were rolling, and I turned. I looked at my coach. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? And he went from celebrating to had this really concerned look on his face and pointed. And I turned around super quick, like I thought he was coming at me. And but right when I turned around, he kind of had a wobbled step, and the ref called it. I knew it was over, man. I mean, anything other than anything after that 1-2 was unnecessary. I knew it would have just put him out cold, and he was done. The same fans that are complaining it was an early stoppage, or the same fans that complain when the ref lets the guy beat the shit out of a guy, far too long. So, I don't have anything to say. I proved what I proved, and I'm very happy.
You just answered my next question, because some people online were saying that it was stopped soon, but I'm with you. I feel like any other shots would have been unnecessary damage. He shouldn't have had to have taken it, I would say.
100%, bro. I mean, I saw it in his eyes. I was the guy in there, and when I hit him with that hook, I just told you his eyes rolled, and then when I hit that 1-2, his eyes really rolled. They were out, and if I followed that up, I could have. In my younger days, I would have, and now, and here's another thing, man. I've got that quarterback mind where I react really quick and a real quick instinct. No bullshit. In my mind, I'm thinking when I hit him with that 1-2, and this all happened in a matter of seconds, but I felt like I was processing everything in super slow motion. But I saw the eyes roll. I thought to myself, if I just walk off right now, it's for sure 50K. So that's what I did, man. And yeah, it worked out to my favor. But I stand by what I said, man. Any shots after that were unnecessary. Even when he got back to his feet, if he tried fighting, I've been there. I've been where I've rocked when Alex Pereira rocked me. You think you can keep going. Your mentality and your warrior spirit can keep going, but your body's not moving the way it's capable of moving, and you're not going to be able to defend yourself. And if we had to keep fighting, dude, he was going out. There's no doubt about it.
And I thought after that knockout too, that performance of the night bonus, no doubt about it. And then the night went on, and there were just so many great fights. Were you kind of a little nervous? You were like, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this.
Well, I'll tell you why I was nervous, because I was with Cody Brundage the week before, and he had a spectacular knockout. I'm like, bro, you just got 50 G's again. No way. And I was so pumped for him, and all night long. He's like, you think? I'm like, bro, it's 100% 50K. No doubt about it. Michael Bisping even said it in the post-fight interview, like, it's a lock. And then after the fight, he didn't get it. And we were all completely stunned. We were like, what? No way. But on Friday night, we have our fighter meeting. Dana White comes in, and the first thing he says, listen, you guys, I know you've been seeing me on the internet. I've been acting reckless lately. I've been throwing 50K. I've been throwing out money left and right. Go out there and finish a fight. And I'm not making any promises, but just go out there and deliver, and there's good things coming. So right then and there, it told everybody sitting in that room, if you go get a finish, there's a good chance you're going to get 50K, especially coming off a couple weeks ago when he gave every finish 50K. I hope it's trending, man. I hope that stays. I hope everybody that gets a finish gets 50K. Of course, right? I really hope that. But I also think it's warranted. I think it's justified. I think the fighters deserve that. And with it being a fight night card that had a huge gate and sold out, they had a little extra money to spare. There was no doubt. And I was pretty confident. But again, had I not been with Cody the week before and seen him get snubbed, there was a little bit of doubt.
Yeah, no, for sure. Very, very well said. You know what was surprising to me as well, Dustin, going into this fight, you were actually the underdog. I don't know if you knew that or not, but what do you think of that? Does that just add even more of a chip on your shoulder?
Oh yeah, I knew that. I'm a better. I'm a gambling guy. I keep an eye on the odds. And before, early in my career, that always used to mess with me. Like, I saw an underdog and I thought, oh shit, they're right. Vegas is right. I've already lost. And anymore, a cool stat I saw right before I fought was I've been the heavy favorite in all of my UFC wins so far, and a minus 265 average. So I love seeing that for Vegas. I love seeing the big juicy line for Vegas, saying like, this guy's going to win. But I tell you what, on Wednesday, I look at the line for the first time. I'm minus 150 favorite. I'm like, okay, cool. Vegas does believe in me. By Wednesday night, I was a plus 105 underdog, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I had people reaching out to me online. Cody was getting blown up asking if I was injured. My coach was getting blown up asking if I was injured. I saw people on Twitter saying, what happened to Jacoby? Did he lose a limb? Like, how did he go to this big underdog? And where did this shift in the line come from? And I think Vegas just looked at it as a risky fight. They saw me as the favorite, but obviously a lot of money came in on Jung, and in Vegas themselves, like, what, this isn't a lock. I mean, it's risky. You got this up and coming guy that hasn't lost in 15 fights, and we got going against the older guy. I think if you saw the other stat, 64% of the time, the much younger fighter, like 6 years or younger, wins. So yeah, I'm just defied those odds too. But yeah, man, I was extremely confident. I was healthy. I knew something great was going to happen that day.
And I love the post-fight interview with DC in the cage. What are the chances you guys are going to get on the golf course together? And if you do, how do you and him? How does that match play work out?
Oh, well, for one, bro, we're gonna make that fight happen. For two, I promise you, I stroke him. I absolutely annihilate DC on the golf course. He can't stiff my jock on the golf course. I want DC to see this. I want DC to know this. And we're especially we're playing straight up. Here's another thing: these MMA guys, they don't keep handicaps. So you know what? I don't either. I don't have a handicap. We're playing straight up, no strokes given. I beat him by 12 plus strokes, guaranteed.
I guess he's a pretty good golfer too. I know at least he likes to get out there and play. Have you had a chance
Well,
to?
pretty good for an MMA guy. Have you seen DC swing? Come on, man. He embarrasses himself out there. And I'm talking all kinds of smack, DC. It's not even close. It's a walk in the park. I'd probably be like a minus 3,000 on the betting line for that one.
Okay, well, I would love to see you guys out there in like a match play if it's filmed. That would be fantastic. Did you get a chance to watch much of the Open Championship over the weekend?
You know what? Of course, I followed along. I'm a big time fan, and I missed the weekend. I missed Saturday and I missed Sunday, but I read up on it. I heard Cam Smith was lights out on Sunday, which is really cool. I was pulling for Rory. I'm a big Rory fan. But yeah, we were watching golf every day. When I was in New York, I was watching, Tuesday, Wednesday, the leading up to it. And of course, Thursday we were dialed in. Friday dialed in watching Tiger and watching his walk up to 18. And like I said, I missed Saturday, Sunday because I was, I had some duties and obligations myself. And then Sunday was a fun day around New York. But yeah, big golf fan. I tune in all the time.
And I understand you have a trip to the Ozarks to play here soon. Who's going to be making that trip with you? Who are you going to be playing with?
Yeah, some of my day one guys I went to high school with, back some good buddies of mine. There's 8 of us going out there, and we got games set up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. A big, super cool, big sponsor of mine, El Bandito Yankee Tequila. It's a startup, but they have a 47-foot yacht, and they have it at the Ozarks and a bunch of accounts at the Ozarks. And they hit me up. They're like, "Hey, we saw in your interview you're going to the Ozarks. We need to get you and the guys out." And I was like, 100%. And yeah, we're set up Wednesday, man. That yacht's picking us up, and we're going out Wednesday afternoon, and we're stopping bar to bar. We're tearing up their accounts, and we're going to tear up some El Bandito Yankee Tequila, man. It's going to be fun.
You're living the good life, my friend, and things are going well for you inside and outside of the octagon. As far as what is next for you, I believe you've earned yourself maybe even a top 10 opponent next. What are you hoping you get?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I've got a top 10 opponent coming. I really like Volkan Ozdemir. I know he fights this weekend against Paul Craig in London. I hope he wins that fight. I think I match up really well with him. And again, he's a guy in the top 10. I go and beat him. I'm one shot away. I'm one fight away from a potential title fight, which is really freaking cool to say, man. It's really awesome. And it's been a long time coming. And I was asked this weekend, do you believe in destiny? And 100%, man. I know I'm destined for greatness. I know I was born a winner. I know I was born to be in the spot and limelight that I am right now. I didn't know it would take so long, but all good things take time, and we're in a really good spot, man. I just got to continue working hard, and that's another cool thing. A lot of my work's done in the dark. I get kind of quiet, after the fight. You see my social media, but I'm not a big posting guy. I don't share a lot of stuff on there as far as the work that I'm putting in, but I know deep down every morning when I look in that mirror, every night when I go to bed and look in that mirror, that the man in the mirror is putting in the work, and I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And I truly believe in myself, and I believe the proof is in the progress. And I just got to continue to do what I do, man. I've got a great team around me. I've surrounded myself with great people. And yeah, man, good things are ahead.
What was your takeaway from the 205 title fight, Yuri beating Glover?
Man, that was bizarre. Again, Yuri, I think it's like the 205 Tony Ferguson of the division, man. He's so sporadic. He's all over the place. He's unorthodox. He's obviously just, I know he's got a strong mind game. I know he's mentally tough, mentally stable. He just proves that he doesn't have a weakness, and he doesn't care where the fight goes, man. He's going to give you his all and fight his heart out. He deserves to be champion. And I felt bad for Glover. That guy, still at 42 years old, it gave me chills and tears in my eyes after the fight when I think it was DC that was interviewing him. And Glover, you're 42. You've already been champ. What now? What now at 42? He looked at, I think it was DC. He's like, DC, Did I look like I was 42 years old in that fight? He's like, absolutely not. He's like, then we fight on. Oh man, it just gave me just chills and tears in my eyes because man, I love that guy and the work that he's put in. He's an inspiration to me to showed me that age doesn't matter. Everybody was talking about age in this fight. I'm like, dude, I'm not a fucking old man. I'm 34. Like I'm in my prime. Just because this guy's 6 years younger than me, he doesn't have the experience that I have. He hasn't been through the ropes, the ringers that I have. And I felt bad for Glover. He had that fight won. I thought that for such an experienced veteran, he pulled some rookie mistakes in that fifth round. He was looking for a shot when he had him rocked. And I thought he should have just kept it on the feet and kept punching and tried going for the takedown. And I think he made some mistakes. I don't think Jerry necessarily won that. I think Glover lost it. And I know Glover probably feels that. And I know he probably went back and watched and was like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? And, I was so close to retain that title. And I think that it deserves a rematch. I think that and that's what's going to happen. And I think it's very much earned and deserved.
Okay, yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you next because Yuri said he wants to rematch Glover, and I can't imagine that Glover wouldn't want to run it right back. How do you feel like the second fight will play out? Do you think we're going to have a different result?
I think it's another barn burner, and I think that it's up for grabs, man. The whole division's up for grabs. I love this division. I think it's just a bunch of big Hanyaks going in there and throwing down, man, and just getting after it. And that's what I love about the 205 division. And I think that with John Jones gone, it's anybody's title. And again, that fight's so close. Anybody could win that fight, and that goes for the rest of the division. I think that's how it could be passed around here in the next few years.
I want to ask you real quick about Alex Pereira. Obviously, you fought him in a kickboxing bout all the way back in 2014. Now, he's a weight class down below you now. He's fighting at 185, and it looks like he's going to get matched up with Adesanya, who he knocked out in kickboxing as well in the past for the next shot at the 185 title. How do you see that fight going? Do you feel like it's going to be very different in the MMA world versus when they fought in kickboxing?
Well, I think it's going to be a great fight. When they fought in kickboxing, that the fight that went to a decision was controversial. Could have went either way. Izzy thought he won that fight, and then of course Pereira has a knockout win over him. But man, it's hard to put any weight in that because Pereira knocks everybody out. I mean, you're literally playing with fire every time you fight Pereira, and you have to be so careful, and you have to be so focused and sharp and on your absolute best game when you're fighting him, because his left hook knocks anybody out. It knocks everybody out. He's so incredibly dangerous. With that being said, Adesanya is a great champ, man. He's smart. He's got a high MMA IQ. He fought a teammate of mine, Rob Wilkinson, for his UFC debut, and I went back and watched that fight before I knew Rob. I've just recently started training with Rob, who's an absolute beast. He's at 205. He's the number one ranked guy in the PFL tournament. I think he's got a really great shot of winning that $1 million. And watching that fight, I know how strong Rob is. And I know how relentless he is and how good he is and the pressure he puts on. And I went back and watched that fight, and he was all over Adesanya, just stuck to him, trying to take him down. And he couldn't get him down. Adesanya's takedown defense was so good, and he was so composed. I had anxiety rewatching that fight. Like, get off. When I train with her, I'm like, get off me, man. Like, please just let me breathe. And Adesanya passed that with flying colors. And it says a lot about his game. And it lets me know, how good he is and his champion mindset. He's a champion inside out of the cage. And he's almost like people are giving him shit about this title defense, with Cannonier, but he's like the Floyd Mayweather now of MMA. It's like he's so smooth and so brilliant and so hard to fight that people are booing him because it's not a big knockout. But you got to just appreciate the greatness that you're witnessing, and he's a great champ. And man, it's going to be a fun fight for the fans. It's going to keep everybody on the edge of their seats because it's going to be a barn burner.
How far can your boy Cody Brundage go in that division?
Oh, I believe in Cody, man. Cody's biggest challenge is himself. It's all up here, man. And that's why I'm having so much success right now. When I tell people I've been through it to get to it, I truly mean that. Like I can say with full confidence, man. I feel like my mind is so strong, and my mind wins me fights. And your mind can also lose you fights. And Cody's still very green. He's had less than 10 pro fights. He's still got a long way to go, but I believe in Cody. He's extremely strong. He's a guy that not only looks strong, he's a guy that's freaking strong. And once he gets everything clicking for him, he's still a long ways off, man. He's got a whole career ahead of him, a life ahead of him in MMA, but he's getting better every day. Since the first time he walked into the gym, his stand up so much better. Yeah, he sucks to grapple with, he sucks to wrestle with, but that's what also gives me the comfort going into these fights, facing guys. It's like, man, when I got a guy like Cody, a guy like Rob grabbing me, you're not going to grab me and make me feel anything I haven't felt. So I think Cody's got a bright future. He's just got to keep working and one day at a time, and yeah, one fight at a time.
Dustin, you and Cody are easily two of my favorite guys in the UFC to interview. Both of you guys are fantastic interviews, and very happy to see you get this big win. Again, Dustin Jacoby finishes down Un Jung this past Saturday at UFC Long Island. I want to before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor, my man. Tell people where they can follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, the floor is yours.
Yeah, you can follow me at the Hanyak DJ. Instagram is where I primarily interact with fans. Twitter, I guess now too. Um, and yeah, I want to give a big shout out to my team at Factory X, our head coach Mark Montoya, just a great mentor, a great guy that I look up to, and everybody at our team is awesome. And iron sharpens iron. We all bring it every day. We're one of the best teams in the world. We've got a great culture. My management company, Iridium Sports Agency, I'm so thankful for welcoming those guys and them welcoming me, and just being in each other's lives. Like I said earlier, I'm surrounded by a bunch of great people inside and outside the octagon, and I got a couple big sponsors I want to give a big shout out to that have my back and are really doing big things for me. Both startup companies that I think have a bright future. El Bandito Yankee Tequila, it's a tequila company. Actually sipping on it right now. These guys are awesome. They got my back. And Fit Soda, another startup company, Fit Soda, El Bandito, Yankee Tequila. They go great together. And both companies are just awesome, great people on the rise. I think that big things are in the future for both of them. And yeah, I want to thank my family, friends, fans, everybody that believes in me, man. I do this for them. I just makes me so happy when I win, and I think of course, I think of my family, but I think of everybody that's believed in me and that believes in me, and it makes me so proud to make them proud, and to to just have a smile on their face, man. It brings a tear to my eye and just a warmness to my heart. And yeah, dude. So yeah, we're on the rise, and I look forward to competing again.